Footy Talk time for you Thursday, and a guest in studio, which is a real treat from the Naarm Footy Club, Mr. Stephen May. Welcome.
Thanks, Daisy. Thanks for having me on, mate.
Thank you so much for coming in on your day off, and a very big day for you and your football club. You're heading off down the peninsula to play in the Melbourne Masters.
Yes, very big day, nerve-wracking. It comes around once a year, so we'll be looking to steal the title off Michael Hibbert.
So the Pig won it last year. What's his handicap?
He plays off about 11 or 12, but
Okay.
he hardly plays, and he's probably at 7 or 8 marker.
Right.
But he just doesn't play, so he's a freak at not playing at all, and then that first round back, he just pulls out like a 40-pointer.
Have you got a decent golf culture at the club? A lot of blokes that are right into it?
Yeah, really good. When the majors are on, there's always a sweep. And
Yeah.
There's a lot of chat about that, and every Thursday was our day off, so everyone's checking the handicap app to see how everyone's rounds
Who
went.
played where?
Yeah, so even our Friday morning meeting starts with Troy Chaplin. He starts the backline meeting just with, "So how'd we go, boys?" Because most of the back defenders play. So it's a great golfing culture down there.
Who's the best golfer at the footy club?
I wish you asked me that a week ago.
Oh, was you?
Yeah.
What's your current GA?
My current GA is 5.1.
Oh, that's good golf.
And Gussie Brayshaw is 4.8, and I was 4.7.
Oh, yeah.
But I just lost a really
lost
good
a flag, yeah.
So I should have come on last week, so I could have said that.
I was scrolling through your Instagram and we saw you play a lot of golf at PK. You remember there?
Yeah, I remember at PK.
What a
Yep.
fairly decent course just to be a member at. But you played alongside yourself, Gus Brayshaw, Christian Petrarca, and Min Woo Lee.
Yeah, it was pretty special.
How in the bloody hell do you tee up playing with not just a European Tour player now, but PGA Tour star?
Yeah, no, it's all because of Andrew Brayshaw. He's mates with him. They're both members at Royal Freo, I think, in Perth. And Min was in town seeing his coach and doing some like biomechanics stuff, and put all the little dots on their bodies and stuff, doing his swing adjustments. And he asked for a game with Gus through Andrew at RM, and then we just made a little group chat. And then he said, "I've never played PK. I've always wanted to get down there." So we ended up twisting Angus Brayshaw's arm because he hates paying to play somewhere.
Right, and the green fees, we love
Green
PK, but they are not overly cheap.
Not cheap. And,
I was there Monday, north of sort of 300.
Oh, was that?
I think it's, we obviously weren't member guests. We were just paying to play the South.
Yeah, okay, yeah, no. Yeah, usually it's about 120 or something.
Well, that's not too bad.
Yeah, but he, if you're under 30, which a lot of the golfers are, at RM, it's only $45.
Yeah.
So to convince them to come to PK, you're asking a bit out of them. Now I'm 31. I don't care. I don't get the discount
And
anymore.
I'm sure Min wouldn't have to pay, sure.
Nah, well, yeah, I asked, I mates with a couple of people at the club, and it was a late Tuesday arvo, and I just said, "Hey, look, Min Woo's coming in. Can we look after him a bit?" And yeah, it was all good. They comped these green fees, and I'm sure he had enough cash to pay for them. But it was I was just on the range with him and watching him go about his business, just joking around. But it just shows you how far away you are from even remotely thinking you're good enough to play
golf.
golf.
And you think at 5, you're like, if I get the scratch, I'm competitive. Well, does he have a GA? He'd be +8 or plus?
I think he played off +7, just mucking around at PK off the white tees, and I think. He would have. I think he shot maybe 5 under or something. So he would have 34 points.
Yeah.
Bad day in his book, but it was a great experience. I was in awe. Like, I'm a bit of a golf nuffy.
Yeah.
Know a lot about him. I was asking him questions I already knew the answers to. And
is he a footy nuffy? Does he love it?
Yeah, he loves it. So he's landed in Dallas. He's gone to the Brian Nelson. A week after we've played, and he's watching us play Gold Coast last quarter. He's texting us. Great finish, fellas. I'm thinking, this guy's getting ready for the Brian Nelson. He's watching us play the Suns on the Goldie. I was just like, thanks, man.
That's brilliant. Yeah. That is brilliant. Let's touch on your own footy club. We do have to talk footy at some point. I'm sure you and I could talk golf for most of the day. But the D's, you're going along all right. 4th on the table at the minute, a tough loss on the weekend, but you must be pretty happy with how things stand to this point in the season. Yeah,
I think, we're building. We're building really well. We're setting some foundations that are going to hopefully stand up towards the end of the year. The loss on the weekend, on Friday night was tough, but I feel like it was a bit of reality check in some areas of our game that we need to improve on. So as much as bad as it sounds, and the fans probably don't want to hear me saying this, that loss probably do us more good than if we won. We'll actually take stock.
And the more, if you actually watch the game and understand it, you can see that is because you played some bloody good footy against a team that's flying. They've won 6 or 7 on the bounce. So to run them that close in those conditions on their home patch, it will hopefully...
Yeah, their crowd is there. It's awesome. If you haven't been to a Friday night game at Adelaide Oval with the Port fans when they're up and about playing good footy, it's a great atmosphere and makes it hard, trying to get some calls going your way and, somehow the ball bounces towards them. It's just amazing, the home field advantage. But like I said, we're building nicely. We've got a good month coming up where some big tests. So, I'm pretty confident with the way we're going.
You come up this weekend against Freo, but more importantly, Luke Jackson for the first time.
Yeah, Jacko.
Will you be running a little bit of trap to him? You are a super competitor.
I do talk a little bit of shit on the
I've heard a bit of this, yes.
But he's if you know Jacko, he's nothing. Not a lot of. The best thing about it, not a lot of things faze him.
Yeah.
He knows he's
too.
playing Melbourne this week, but he probably doesn't realise it's a big deal. He's probably like, oh, yeah, I'll see the boys again.
Yeah, correct.
Fellas. So
I used to play there.
Yeah, a lot of players would probably be thinking about it all year and worried about it, and he would just go out and play footy. He's obviously got a tremendous talent, and Freo went after him hard, but even after he'd requested a trade, he still hung out with us, and after Mad Monday and all that, and even came to our meeting about our off-season program, kind of like, Jacko, you're not supposed to be here.
Just a full tripper.
But he just wanted to come and say goodbye again and all that. Like, that's the thing. There's no hard feelings there, and he's a Premiership player.
Yeah,
helped us break that drought, and he's gone home to his family. So it's good to see him playing better footy, and looks like he's enjoying himself.
No, that is a cracker. We know that Clary Oliver will be out with a hammy. Have you had a chat to him? Because you famously played a grand final with a hamstring that wasn't on the bone, could barely walk, got out of your wheelchair on game day, came out, just shut everyone down, just delivered the premiership to the homeland. Have you had a yarn to him?
It was funny that after the game he was asking me a couple of questions about hammies, and I just said I'm probably not the guy to ask because I was under no illusions that I did such a bad hammy.
How bad was yours though? Because we sort of... It got lost a little bit in the fact that you won. It was a massive story going into the game. Then you win, you played well. No one really gave a shit.
Well, yeah, so I didn't know until after the game. But it was grade 3, so a 12-weeker. And I'm going back in 2 weeks.
So you said, don't scan me, I think it'll be all right.
So the deal was they wanted to scan it.
Yeah.
I said, I'm playing. If I get up and train, I'm playing. They said, how about we get the scan and we won't tell you the result, but it'll just allow us to, tailor your program for the next 2 weeks to give you the best chance to play.
Yeah.
Like, you're obviously not walking great right now, but I didn't want that in my head. That was, if I knew it was a grade 3, I'm like, well, this is stupid. I can't play.
Yeah. And it was your kicking leg?
Is it? No, it was my right leg.
So just for balance.
Yeah, just for balance. But I did have an inkling that it wasn't a great result on the scan because Goody was giving me donuts for the next couple of weeks, and I was thinking, I thought he'd be checking in. Hey, mate, how you feeling? You ready? And he just was really sheepish towards me, and I realised now he was probably faced with a big decision. Do I play this guy?
Yeah.
On one leg, and we lose the game. Is it a great decision, or is it cost us the game? So I get all that, and I'm just thankful that the staff, the support staff, the medical staff were able to put these parameters in place that I had to tick off to progress. I had to hit some pretty hard markers, and
in terms of like high speed running and that sort of
agility, like Nordic testing with your hammies, RDLs, all this stuff that I could do during the year. I had to be able to execute that before I could play. And it was. I'd be lying if I said it wasn't easy because I was hanging on by a thread, but I really wanted to play. And thank God Norton wasn't running around as like he normally does, and we were sort of not in a lot of contests together because he picked up this ground ball in the second quarter and snapped a goal. And I think it was his first ground ball goal for the year.
Yeah.
On yours truly, who was just sitting off him.
Should have maybe been a touch
closer. I should have been. I couldn't bend over. So, we're able to get through, and you look back now and you go, oh, it was a good decision or whatever.
Yeah.
But, if I had known that, I probably wouldn't have been able to put my hand up.
Yeah, for sure. Probably a good thing you didn't know, as you say. Could you feel it throughout the game? Were you still aware of it? Or once you got out there and you were like, no, I'm here now, I'm playing, it's completely out of mind? Or was it a little bit of...
I had this feeling I really didn't want to do it before half-time and then get subbed and then we're down a key defender because we didn't have a sub, wasn't a key defender. So I was kind of a bit cautious. I was like, let me just try and play Norton, nothing, no overstrides, nothing too crazy. Just play your role, hold some shape, and then after Bont kicked his third in the third quarter, I went, I don't care if it rips now. I was like, I've got to try something. I've got to just, I'd rather go down swinging. And I took this mark and played on, and that was like the best thing that happened to me because I felt, actually, it's not that bad.
Yeah,
I feel a bit better. And famously after the game, the physio and the doctor come out and they're like, do you want to know about your scan? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, it's a grade 3, like it's 12-weeker. And I said, that's so negligible of you guys. And so the doctor just grabs my medal off. So, okay, I'll take that off you then.
No.
And I was like, no. Thanks for all your help.
For the people who aren't aware of the grading system, 3 is as bad as it gets. Yeah. That is the upper echelon. You do a grade 3, it's 12 weeks sort of minimum.
Surgery, whatever they think's the best course of action. Yeah, it's I wouldn't suggest doing that though.
To anyone else that gets a scan back and it says grade 3, have some time off. Yeah. That is a remarkable story, and congratulations too, because not only did you play, you were bloody fantastic for your side, and obviously winning a premiership in front of a crowd, a bit of a different crowd as well. How was that for you?
Oh, it was it was amazing. It was my dream to actually just play finals. So to be standing there on grand final day and as like the warm-up's different. Yeah. There's entertainment out there. There's so many distractions going on, and I was just soaking it all up. And like, I was flat they cancelled the parade sort of thing because I wanted to be part of that as well. But it was amazing. The crowd really adopted us as their team over in Perth. And I think because there were no Perth-based teams in the granny, they got behind us. They liked the sort of Cinderella story that we hadn't won for a long time, and it was amazing. I wish our family and friends could have been there, but the group of people that were in a hub together and spent a lot of time together over there was was well worth it. And
the post celebration seemed like they were pretty out of hand. You would have been leading the charge there.
Yeah, look,
didn't have to ice the hammy and make sure you didn't have any beers.
No, they didn't. They
no restrictions.
They said we'll check in a couple of weeks to know what you're going to be like. So, but everybody started heading home, and I probably stayed in Perth for another 2 months because Perth. Melbourne was still in lockdown.
Yeah, for
so I was
sure.
like, we're not going home yet.
Yeah.
I was like, we can't do anything.
What's the point?
Yeah. So, no, it was great.
Nah, that's brilliant. Hey, this is, of course, the Footy Talk podcast. Guest today is Stephen May. Plenty more to talk with this man. It is your daily dose of footy, the latest news, interviews and analysis from the world of AFL. You're listening to the Footy Talk podcast. If you're listening on Spotify, hit the bell and get involved on our Insta at footytalk_pod. Send us a voice message and we'll do our best to answer your question throughout the week. Stephen May, the superstar defender from the D's, has stuck around. 2-time All-Australian, Premiership player, was once the captain or co-captain of the Gold Coast Suns. 2017, that's where you started your career, up the Gold Coast Suns. We know about that. How did that trade come about of you going from the Gold Coast Suns to the D's? I'm not sure I've ever really heard a proper explanation in and around it.
Look, I think we just got a new coach in Dewey, and we were starting to fix our list a little bit with our salary cap issues. So it was obvious that we were going to go into a little mini rebuild. Start again. We had a new CEO, new GM, new list manager, new coach. So I felt we're starting again, and I just sort of felt I was probably 27 at the time. By the time we get this right, I'm probably on the outer. Maybe I'm hitting 30, and do I have the best chance of being involved in that? And so I'd spoken to a few teams that were competing and playing finals.
Who were other suitors that you spoke to?
Yeah, so Melbourne, Collingwood, Hawthorn, and Essendon were the.
So you're coming to a big club.
Yeah, I was coming to a big club. And I wanted to come to Melbourne.
Yeah.
And, it was a really hard decision. You have the meetings with, the different presentations, and they're just outstanding clubs. Like, it's hard you walk out of that, say to your manager, I want to go here. Then you go to your next meeting, I want to go there. And then, you got to make a hard decision. But for me, it just came down to, where Melbourne were at. They just played in a prelim. Their list was so young in terms of their star players coming through. And I thought, that probably gives me a bit more of a chance in terms of, a bit of a bigger window of opportunity. And then the other thing is, like, it's all well and good to pick a club, but you got to get a trade done.
Yeah. Was there any hiccups there? Because we know that can be a bit of a nightmare.
Yeah, well, they
stuff around with it a fair bit of the time.
Yeah, they tell you certain things and that. But the thing was, Melbourne were going to trade for me. They didn't have the pick yet, so they needed. So Hogan wanted to go to Freo,
right?
they needed Melbourne. I think Suns maybe wanted a top 5 or top 6 pick or something like that, because that's what the compensation would have been.
Yeah.
So they're like, well, if you're getting traded, we can just let you go as free agent. We'll get that. So we want nothing less than that, which is fair enough.
Yeah,
I wanted a win-win for both parties. Hogan had to get to Freo. Freo go and trade their pick 5 that Melbourne needed to get the trade done. With myself and Katie came down, and anyways, it played out, and got to the last hour. Like I was on the golf course actually. I thought I need to distract myself. Like if this doesn't go through, I'm still contracted. I've got to go back to the Goldie. I've already said I want to leave. It's it'd be the worst. It would be so embarrassing to come back in after saying you want to leave, and I just wanted Gold Coast to get what they wanted, and I wanted Melbourne to get what they wanted, and everyone sort of be happy as happy as you can, given the circumstances. And thankfully, like the last hour, I got a message from Goody saying, "Well done, mate. It's all done." And I was like, "It's not done." I was still looking at the Twitter. There's no update, but they did do Hogan to Freo, and I went to Melbourne, and then they got pick 6, and they got Ben King, who's a star player, star forward that they needed at the time because they lost Tommy Lynch as well. So, I'd like to think it was a win for all parties involved.
How was that on you coming down to Melbourne, though? Because you've spoken publicly about some of your issues with mental health in and around that, and the challenges in and around coming down to Melbourne, some injuries at the start. Famously had one beer and got in a shitload of trouble for that, thanks to whoever took that photo. How was that period for you, though?
Oh, that was really tough.
Yeah.
Like I said, I picked the club that just played in a prelim. Everything's all good. We came 17th the next year.
Yeah.
I was in rehab. I went and had a beer. No, on a Sunday. Didn't think it was too big of an issue. But the optics
shouldn't have been.
Yeah, and everyone sees it, and this guy's not committed. He's coming down here taking the piss, and that really hurt because I'm so competitive. Like people that know me know that I'm all in when I'm somewhere, and it was hard because I wasn't playing in the team, so I hadn't really built those relationships with my friends, teammates as well.
Yeah.
So I'm sort of thinking what they're reading's true and all this stuff. So that was hard, and I had to just get the one thing. I spoke to Dean Solomon, who was my backs coach on the Suns, and I was like, he's really good at advice and stuff. And he goes, mate, nobody cares what you have to say. Get your body right, get yourself fit, and play good footy, and I promise you it'll all turn. Like that's the only way to turn this around. You can say all you want and tell all this whatever stories you want, and nobody gives a shit really. They want you to play and perform, and then that's what I did in 2020. Great preseason, had a great season on the field, and we just missed out on the finals. But I thought I'm here at the Melbourne now. I'm part of the team. Fans are starting to like me now.
Yeah.
Supporters, my teammates, having good relationships with my teammates, and obviously in 2021 we went on to win the flag. So was a rocky start, no doubt. If I had my time again, probably do a few different things. But that is coming down to Melbourne. On the Goldie, I could go have a beer on a Sunday. No worries. People would probably buy me one. Come down here and they're taking photos, and I wake up on Monday and there's a photo on the paper, and it was a bit of a shock, but that's how it is down here.
Credit to you for turning it around, and for what it's worth, I think that you should have a beer most Sundays, because that should just be your right as a normal human. A lot's been made throughout this week about Damien Hardwick and the relationship he has with players. It seems like Goody to you guys is almost that similar figure, just a really strong manager, near-on mate rather than the old-school enforcer.
Yeah, he is like that. He's got a really good relationship with everyone, and as you'd see him in the media and see him on the bench, he's not very animated. I see him
at the Malvern Vale a bit.
But you see him at the Vale, he might be a bit more animated there. But he does have that, and when he does give you a clip, or it's a lot more powerful because he wants what's best for you. He knows you. You can't really lie to him about anything. He asks you questions he knows the answer to already. So you best just admit it. Whatever
tell the
it is.
truth. Yeah.
So he's a ripper, and we're lucky to have him. He's a great people person. He's also really strategic and smart with the way he goes about it on field. And I'm glad to call him our coach.
Do you love going into work every day? I had Tom Mitchell sit in this seat, and he was talking about the culture that the Pies have and how much he loves it now. Is it still that enjoyment factor for you at the D's?
Yeah, for sure. Having a whole group of people with coaches who are just so committed to getting better each week. I'm talking. Obviously, you have your young guys, your development guys, but I'm saying all Australian, like Brownlow fancies and all that. They are working harder than anyone. They want to be the best they can, and it's inspiring. And you sort of don't want to let the team down, so you jump on and you jump in and learn something about this and that. And we have a great off-field balance in terms of we know when to take the piss, joke around, shoot some hoops, play some cricket. But then when it's training time or gym, like we're flat out. So it does make it a lot more enjoyable when everyone's there for a serious reason.
Absolutely. You are, I was reading this, so you're one of 8 kids, the eldest of 8, proud Indigenous fella. Talk to us a little bit about, I guess, representing your people from the NT in and around not only Sir Doug Nicholls round, but also what it means to them when you go back and you're able to go back as the AFL star.
Yeah, it's pretty special. It's definitely a pinch me moment, sort of when I go back home, seeing the kids, how they're growing up, how I grew up, and all that, and hopefully just showing them that like it doesn't matter where you're from, you can still make it and play AFL if that's what you really want to do and you're committed. Like you can do it. Like I had that dream as a kid to play AFL. It was probably more of a dream kind of thing. If, like as much as you probably want to play on the PGA Tour, it's probably not going to happen.
I'm getting all right.
Yeah. But it wasn't. I didn't believe it as much as I probably should.
Sort of clear pathway as well. Probably
no pathway exactly. No scouts at every game. None of that. So I knew I had to get out of Darwin and get down here and try and be seen by more eyes. But no, it does make me extremely proud. And seeing people, they watch the footy every week. In Darwin, football's life. They watch all our games.
Is there a few Melbourne number ones knocking around up there?
They're very loyal to their team.
Right.
There's a lot of Essendon fans.
Okay, still,
there. Like Michael Long sort of set that. But no, there's obviously all my brothers and sisters all got number ones in their back. But so that makes 7. But I'm sure there's a couple more out there. But yeah, no, I'm very this round means a lot to me. I mean, lots to our family, and also means a lot to our footy club. Our footy club get behind it a lot, and I'm proud to be a part of it.
You obviously the footy club changed its name. You come up against Walyalup this week. Is that how I say it correctly? Fremantle,
yes.
Yeah, Walyalup, which will be a cracker, and it is fantastic to see. There's the iconic photo we've got here of you and Sammy Pal-Pepper exchanging gifts at the start. That is an absolute ripper. I hope you've got a copy of that because
I love that pic.
That is an absolute ripper. Also, your club plays in round 16 the Heart of the Nation game. In the Alice?
Yes.
I once went to the Alice. Be prepared to take some gumboots. It was underwater. It was the nicest day. It got to 4 o'clock and it pissed rain and it was ankle deep.
Yeah. If you would have seen the Todd River there and it's completely just sand.
Yeah.
And then it can be flowing. It's pretty crazy. We usually go there at a good time of the year where we have great weather. It's awesome though. I don't know if you see the backdrop, see the McDonald's Rangers in the back.
Yeah.
And it's just like you're somewhere else. And see the red dirt, all the fans come out, they love it, and we love going there.
Do you get to spend extended time when you go up there, sort of a couple of days each side, or is it more just a hit and run mission because it is in season?
Yeah, it's more of a hit and run, depending, because it never falls with our bye or anything. Our bye's always with the King's birthday, so it is sort of a quicker trip. But the guys that are injured or in rehab or whatever that need to do some community work to go up there and spend some time, and they enjoy their time up there.
That's brilliant. King's birthday will be a massive clash as well. We'll touch back on footy before we let you get out of here and get to your golf tournament. King's birthday, you come up against the Pies, who are absolutely flying. Their next 2 games before you get to King's birthday are North Melbourne and West Coast, so they might just have softened a little bit. Could be a good time to get them. Do you think at the minute they're the benchmark? And do you still get, you must, about the big crowd? Because King's birthday, it doesn't matter where the sides are, it's generally a good game, but this one in particular should be an absolute cracker.
Yeah, no, they are flying. I think they're definitely the benchmark, watching them play, and I think they're more well-rounded than last year. A lot of people were saying, how do they keep coming back in the last quarter and all that? I think they don't need to do that anymore. They're leading going into the last quarter and playing really good footy. They look really confident, free-flowing, exciting for fans. But yeah, the big matches are so. That's probably one of the reasons why I came down here as well, was just get to run out in front of a packed MCG is just nothing like it. It's hard to describe. But the King's birthday is such a big occasion, with all the work that Neil does, and for us to sort of celebrate that, raise money, and then put on a show at a cracking time. I think it's like a 3:20 usually, and it's going to be rocking. I don't know whose home game it is, won't matter. It'll be all Collingwood because they just find a way in the gates. So I love the roar and that, and hopefully we win and show the quality side that we are, and that we're legit this year.
Is there a little bit extra motivation for you with how well Darcy Moore's going? It's sort of the conversation is you're the best defender in the league and now he's coming to take your mantle. Is there a little bit of, hey, Darcy, I might just take 12 intercept marks this round and stick it up your jumper?
I'm pleased he equalled my record as well.
He got one taken off him.
There's about 8 of us on the on the record.
Slinging champion data some cash, are you?
Yeah, I was actually stoked that he'd won it because there's too many of us on that list.
There's about 8 on that list. Yeah,
so but no, he is playing some unbelievable football. I think he's taken the captaincy and turned into an even bigger and better player. And obviously love watching footy, but I love watching the key defenders play well and the way he attacks the ball. He's almost like a forward out there, and he just looks so confident as well. He's probably sums up how Collingwood are going at the moment, and he's definitely the best in the league at the moment. He's full of confidence and dominating, so we'll definitely have to do something about him. We can't be bombing it into him like the Blues did on the weekend because
good plan, wasn't it?
Goody won't be too happy about that if we let that happen all day.
No, awesome, mate. Hey, thank you so much for coming in, talking all things your life and the Melbourne Footy Club. You are a genuine star. Thank you so much.
No worries, Daisy.
That has been the Footy Talk podcast. If you've got any questions, jump on the Instagram at @FootyTalk_pod, TikTok at @FootyTalkPod. Tomorrow, Joey and Nat preview the big clash between the Swans and the Blues, plus the rest of your round 11 action of AFL footy.